think it's old news that people know that phones are straight up listening to us. But how far does that go? What if you don't say it or type it? You just think it, then still receive the ad. Welcome to Soul Spy University, where your souls can run free and your minds are free to expand. It is our hope that today's episode survives against the current algorithm we are up against due to the risky nature of our content for you guys. So please, it means the world to us if you could do anything to support us, our small little channel that remains small because of the nature of our content of truth for you guys. So if you can like, share, and subscribe, it means the world to us. And there is still currently a donation link in the description box, since we do have such a minimal exposure as a result of the topics we cover here for you. Anyway, aside from you guys meaning the world to us, and we're so happy you're here, disclosure starts now. Okay, so actually, hello, Tommy. Um, Last year, I made a video regarding this. For whatever reason, forgot to put it out, and everything happens for a reason because now we have even more juice for it. So I'm going to disclose why I was going to put out that video, why I made the video, and even more about it. And actually, Tommy has something to weigh into regarding this that's pretty crazy that he told me last weekend. And something happened to me actually today regarding it. And this all has to do with our phones. Okay, so everyone knows if you say it, the phone hears you. And why do you get an ad for diapers when you mentioned your friend's baby, right? But I can't tell you how many times. And if any of you have this experience, please weigh in the comments. It'll be 3 a.m. I think of something. I obviously don't say it. I obviously don't type it. Well, not obviously, but I don't. And it literally shows up in some weird way on my phone within a second. Within a second. Not only that, this happens all the time. I'll literally be thinking of something so specific, so from years ago, so that was never advertised to me before ever, not say a word to anyone about it, not write it down anywhere, and out of nowhere, the phone will either advertise it to me or in some way I'll have a notification about what I just thought of. Um, I swear, I mean, this is gone beyond what is normal. And then I have another crazy thing to tell you at the very end of this. But Tommy, you had an experience last week and you shared with me regarding the phone, right?
Yeah. So I was scrolling through Instagram as people do, and I get we my Instagram is crazy. It's like I get some crazy stuff on it. Anyway, I got this one thing of this speech that was going on or something like that. Oh, some guy was arguing with some companies. It was an open forum where this guy stood up and started speaking to this to media companies. Anyway, it had to do with the establishment and how things are being hidden from us. And I really like things, and I liked it. And literally, as I put my when I put my phone down, and I'm like hovering over my phone because I was at work, so I was looking at some computers and stuff. I hear my phone camera click, and I'm like, "What the hell?" And listen, I have my phone camera as silent. I have everything on my phone as silent, and I wasn't touching the phone. It was just sitting right on my desk facing up. So I was like, what the? And I looked, and I searched my past photos, and there was nothing. And this thing was audible. It was not. It was there. There was no like, and there's nothing else on my phone that could have been. Then I looked through my gallery, nothing. Uh, and I noticed that my zoom on it was a little closer than I normally keep it because I keep like being a old school art geek with my photography. I like my settings to a specific thing, and my camera settings were off. My zoom was like superimposed. So that was really weird. Now, this could have been my phone doing its thing, or this could have been uh, the organizational situation we're all in here, the government, stepping in and be like, oh, he likes something that might be, uh, good for future reference, just in case something happens and we could immediately step in. And
Hmm.
I'm like, I'm a good guy. What do we? So I don't know, but it was very odd, man. I wasn't imagining it. There was nothing else on in the place with volume. I'm alone. I work at night and I work alone. So there was nobody else talking. There was nothing else. No other cameras around, no other phones around. So there's, it was very, very strange. Very, very strange.
That's crazy. Well, to get even crazier, today, when I was writing the blueprint for this episode regarding the phones, okay,
Hmm.
Tommy knows I've been avoiding my email since Thursday, and I'm not checking it until Tuesday. There's a reason for this. But basically, I'm not going to be ready to check my email of whatever's there until Tuesday. So I've been avoiding it. I've been avoiding it, avoiding it. Right when I do the blueprint for this, which I typed on my phone, by the way, tell me why out of nowhere, automatically, right afterwards, I go right into Gmail. And I was like, no, 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 no. But all morning I was avoiding that. And I've been on my phone all morning doing my automatic things: YouTube, weather, this, that, the other. Like, and I always know avoid the email, avoid the email. But right after I write up the phone blueprint, all of a sudden I'm like, I'll just go in the email. The one thing I'm telling you, with the moratorium that got placed on banning AI for over 6 months, um, sorry, 6 months. Um, the Google lead senior engineer that quit his job to try to protect the AI. Sam Altman's fear, I sense whenever he's doing interviews, who's the inventor of ChatGPT. ChatGPT got hacked. Millions are at risk at this point. What else? Oh, that senior, the CEO of A8 Ventures, I believe it was. Oh no, I'm sorry, I8 Ventures, Yesha, mentioned it is only 5%. We barely know 5% of what's really out there. With all this information, I knew there was way more. There was way more than we know. I've been picking up for years. Not only is this phone listening, there's more. They're scared of things. We all know the practical things they're scared of. And that's what we know. We don't know other things. I've literally heard Yusha say and other AI experts say this AI could get so whatever, and I think it already is, that it leaps out of itself, into trees, blah, blah. I think there's advances that we are unaware of that are already currently at play. I mean, we literally did a video, check it out, on holographing and hologramming, that once I got word of that and I had the article, it vanished. That article no longer existed. The minute I found it, it was like within the next day, it was gone. I had to do so much hunting to get any more information on that. There's technology out that maybe isn't out, but it exists in some level that we don't know yet. They're talking jumping out of the computer into trees, into an optic nerve. I mean, this is nuts. But I do know, if we're gonna get, if you want to drink a whole glass of weird, that when it comes to time travelers that have supposedly come back, they did say that we learn no longer from school in the future, but it just gets like downloaded into our brain. Um, and that the jobs out there are more creative, which is great. So AI has a lot of advances, but the fact that it can get that, like, I mean, Neuralink was coming out. That's where it reads your mind. That was just years ago, and the fact that we know about it means it's not even 5% of what's really out there. So I
Hmm.
just wonder, I really wonder what's out there right
Um, Maybe they did like a thing for us where they gave us all these like anytime we went to a doctor, I think like without us realizing it, the government puts like mini chips and stuff in our vaccines and all that other stuff. And
You can't say that word, Tommy, on
what? No, I mean the normal ones that we get as children,
here. Okay.
or any others. Anyway, uh, but
Yeah, we definitely have to stay away from certain topics for a reason, guys. And even the ones we already cover are real risky, which is why we're not a big channel yet. So please support us in any way you can.
so like I'm saying, you never know. Those things could have already occurred where they. This is why our phones are like, oh yeah, this is what he's thinking, or this is what she's thinking. Oh yeah, oh yeah, you probably want to set in a SWAT unit or something.
Okay, but if we're going there without saying the word, I didn't get that. I didn't get what
Well,
you're.
no, I'm not talking about just that one. I'm talking about the ones throughout your life, the
Mm-hmm.
ones you needed for school. You needed for school. You
Mm-hmm.
probably do, but you, who knows?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like at any point in your life, when you needed something from a doctor to put it that they had to inject you with, we don't know how old our technology is. We don't
I
know.
Yeah, no, I get it, but I also think it's coming from the damn phones.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying um, this could have been just a precursor, and it's just connected. To, your phone is just the something that's near you that they're like, look, a new phone. These things are new. These things are called phones. You need a phone in your pocket. This phone will do anything. Put it in your pocket. Shut your mouth. Put it in your pocket.
Um,
So,
Also they're pushing things, they're always pushing annoying things. This freaking Apple iWatch, all these pads, all these things, like, oh my God, please.
so that's why I'm saying like maybe it's an old like thing that they did where they're like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put these chips in these freaking people. They're not gonna realize it. We got all this technology from the aliens. So we can't really let it out, but we can secretly let it out without people knowing. And we could find that we could basically control the population without them actually understanding. And so they did. Or maybe some government, some like freaking company, like big business is like, uh, how do we get more consumers? Um, hmm. And they figure something out. There's a whole plethora of things. Or maybe it's nothing at all, and we're just being paranoid.
It's definitely not that. It's definitely not nothing. Okay. It's definitely
Microchips it is.
coming. What?
I said microchips it is.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's coming through the damn phones. Okay. Um, Listen, I was never the one for getting online for the new phone. Okay. Like I literally had a dinosaur of a phone until my phone company was like, we're not going to service your phone anymore. We're just not. So then I had to get another phone or whatever. But like all this whole fad, you need a new phone. No, you don't. It's just the same exact thing as the last phone, except probably more dangerous. Whatever. I was like, what do I need? That's a limited thing I have because I'm not doing the freaking watch, the pet. These things are just like, why would we need them? But whatever. Whatever the case, they are coming through these things. I'm telling you. There people are so worried, AI, this stuff. They got a talking robot in their house already. Aside from Siri, what's that other one? Alexa. Like, who needs that thing? I'm sorry. Like, that's weird. If we're gonna have robots, have them be our friend that we could have wine with. Like, I want
Well,
to be able to talk. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a fun being to talk with, but I feel too bad talking shit to real people. So let me get that robot up in here so I could give it a good
but
time.
can't you? Can't you talk to your phone like that? Can't you be like, hey Alexa, can we gossip? And she'll be like, you need to get out more.
Yeah, Alexa's a bitch, I heard. Like she's
Or
like,
try Bigsby.
huh?
Try Bigsby. Oh, you don't have a droid. That's ours. It's called Bigsby. It's a
Oh my
really
God.
stupid name.
Good luck with that retired, poor like health of a creature you got going on in your phone.
Yeah, can't remember. I think Bigsby is a woman's thing. But all I gotta do is be like, "Hey, Bigsby." Wait, did it kick in? Oh no, I have it shut off. But if I say, "Hey, Bigsby," when it goes on, it's like, "Kill me," and I'm like, "Oh, shut up, Bigsby. What's the weather like?"
Oh, you didn't get it a lawyer.
No, I did not.
Well, Tommy, told you to plan what you need to do so you can actually get it done throughout the week.
Freeing Bigsby is not going to happen.
What?
I'm not freeing Bigsby, so that's not happening.
Well, have fun getting killed at night by Bixby. Okay.
Uh, Probably going to happen actually. Is
I'm gonna have a friend, Smallski.
that the dog? Your friend's right behind you. Look at her.
I can't move my
Maybe
neck.
just small.
I'm in a lot of neck pain.
Yeah, no, though I agree. These phones, it's gotten ridiculous. It's like this. They listen to us. Granted, there are algorithms used out there if you fill out stuff, but then there are the situations where you basically think it and it's on your phone.
Yeah,
So hmm,
have you had that yet? I feel people have probably had it and they don't even realize it's happened.
that's the thing, though. A lot of people like yourself also like when you say you think it, I'm sure without realizing it, you've said it a couple of times.
I'm telling you, Tommy, I would not be talking about it. I'm extremely adamant about this for a
No,
reason.
no, no. I'm not saying within the
No,
week or the
I
day.
it at the time it was 3 a.m. I had let me tell you something. I'm not disclosing what it is on this podcast for the sake of our channel surviving at all. It's not rated PG. 3 a.m. Okay. Can I? It listens to you.
You,
I
you don't
never,
talk in your sleep, do you?
I never typed anything about this, and I haven't spoken about it in a while. The point is this: at the time, like literally, I could think of something I haven't thought of in 3 years, and I would never. It's just something that my life just didn't get spoken about, written about, whatever the case is. You know how our minds are. You know
Yeah,
how, and like it'll literally just come on my phone that second.
crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Like I said, there could be a million different little things about it, but
Like here's an example. The time I don't have time for friends, but if I did, my random thought about if rhinos can exist long, how long can rhinos exist? Maybe not coming up in the conversation when my friend needs to talk to me, right? And maybe it's not important enough for me to write down. But say I thought about it for a while. It's like really thinking about it. Literally, that'll come up on my phone. It'll be like news break. How long
rhino.
do rhinos exist? How did it
um,
know?
God, I don't know, man. It's crazy. Maybe it's the aliens gave the government some kind of freaking stupid like satellite thing where it's like, oh yeah, you just got to beam this down and just reach people's minds and you could just get whatever you want out of them. I mean, we have like thousands of satellites in the freaking in space, so it's like, who knows? There could be a million different
Now
freaking things
we're
about it.
talking. Yes, it could be. And that's why we're here on this podcast. We're talking about it. You don't crumble it up in a paper and
Oh
throw it
God,
out.
I hope we didn't just stumble upon the truth and it's like, oh, mass fire. It's my university's house. Also, stuff on their computers. It's like, what the hell? Why?
Stop, stop. You know what happened to Stan Romanek?
So, um, yeah, there could be a billion freaking explanations. I do think that they are probably have figured out some kind of technology where they could just be like, oh, this is what they're thinking. Let's go ahead and send it to them. But I don't think it's the government. I think it might be just corporations because they're bigger anyway, so they have enough money to get these things done. And all these private ass companies are probably the ones that are ended up talking to the aliens and stuff and like ripping apart their technology.
Mm, no, I heard the government's in cahoots with that kind of technology.
We'll
But
talk about that next.
We are guys. We are actually getting into whistleblowers next. Most don't survive. If they do, there's stuff found on their computers.
Yep.
So just know that me and Tommy are in amazing mental health. Well, that's subjective. But either way, we're not planning to go to heaven anytime soon.
Oh,
If it happens by the grace of God, it'll be in a way that you will believe. Okay. Also, but probably don't believe it. I don't really know. I don't really know. The point is
listen,
that
people, I'm Catholic. So if you're Catholic, you know the whole thing about that. I
yes,
am not looking forward to going that route.
right,
So,
right. We're not
nope.
going to do it by our own devices. So always know that because we always play on the safe side. Also, um, there's nothing on our computers that are at all incriminating except for us trying to tell you the truth.
I don't own a computer.
Know that. Know that, guys. So if they find anything on Tommy's computer,
Yeah, I get a brand new computer put next to my freaking bed. It's like, what the? I never owned a computer. I own a computer.
also our phones. It might
Yes.
be the truth, but it's not. We're telling you our records are clean in terms of anything that's not moral, is the point.
Yeah. So I'm
So,
gonna be like, it's like,
because whistleblowers, what happens to them is either get killed or there's stuff found in their computer.
what? Well, they killed themselves. We'll talk about that next. We'll talk about that next. Let's talk about this. This phones
And they all
listening to
say
our
they're
brain.
not going to, and then it happens. So that happens to so
So
many.
so yes, I do believe that our phones. I mean, the brain thing, possibly. Who knows? But it does listen to us. Absolutely, everybody knows that. They it probably tracks since we bought the damn thing, since the old. Wait, what was the first one I had? I think I had a Razor first.
That was your first?
Yeah, I didn't buy a phone until I was like 19 years old.
B, you cray. You cray. You be tripping up in life. My first was a beeper.
Oh yeah, beeper's not a yeah, beeper's a beeper. What to
I
do?
know, but
My
it was
first, yeah, mine first was a beeper as well.
mine was an ice blue palladium beeper.
I
So
can't remember.
with a clear case.
Mine was a business one that Rob gave me. He's like, here, because I had a phone or anything, and so my friend Rob gave me his dad's old beeper because he's like, I'm sick and tired of trying to call your house and your mother being like, because my parents were like old fashioned, so
Yeah.
I'm a kid at the time, and they're like, why you go out with the friends? Go do homework. Go do cut the lawn.
Yeah.
And so anytime my friends would call the house, and I'd be standing right there, they'd be like, "Tommy, not here." And I'd be like, "Who's that?" And they've all said it. They've heard me in the background to ask who was that when they hang up the phone. So my
Yeah.
friend gave me his old dad's old beeper. He's like, "Listen, here. This way I could freaking if I want to like see if you want to hang out or go play basketball or something, I could beep you real quick and you just call me back." So that was my first.
That's a good idea. Yeah, no, that if my dad didn't pass a colon cancer when I was 6, that would have exactly been my life. It's who's Christina? And like just hung up the phone. Um, yeah, I think I had a purple one too. Well, anyway, yeah. Um, so and then and then my second kind of dad guy, Big Bob, he would have like totally questioned anyone that called. Like, who's this? Why?
But I feel like you'd just be interested in having a conversation with them.
He's cool. All right. Well, anyway, so phones. Okay, you didn't have a Nextel. My first phone was an I-90. Beep beep
I,
beep beep.
I did, but I had a Nextel new generation, the one that's like when they first tried the flat screen,
Mm.
when they first tried just the screen, but it clicks.
I hated the flat screen. I loved feeling like I was part of a heist and you press a button and it slips open and the blue lights and you could feel the buttons and the new phone smell was like out of this world. I bet heaven is just that new phone smell from
It's
then.
they're chemicals that poor freaking third world kids are dying from, and you're like, you
Happy.
phone
Oh
smell.
my God. Everything I like, he makes into something horrible. I like Clydesdale horses, and he's like, oh my God, did you hear her? I mean, really, 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 you know what? The one thing I like in life, man.
What's why is that the only one?
I like took the sticker off of it. Nextel. It was so fun, the walkie-talkie. Although
Yeah.
everyone
Oh,
on
I
the
didn't.
CBS line hated whoever was doing that.
Wait, was that the Nextel? I might be getting this wrong. What the hell was the one with the BBM? Is that Nextel?
It's a BBM. Blackberry?
BlackBerry. That's what I had.
Are you sure it's not the sidekick?
No, no, it was. I never had the Nextel. That's right. I had the BlackBerry.
We were in different like universes. We don't even know.
No, people with the Nextels were so freaking annoying. They're like, "Giddy, giddy." Giddy, giddy. That's all you hear all day
Oh, that
long.
was me with the long nails I had
Oh, it was so annoying. Just trying to kick their freaking chests in.
and my cigarette. I was like 14.
Thank God they got rid of that. The people are like, it's a walkie-talkie, you idiots. Calm down. Yeah,
Now
no,
getting
I had a
bored.
BlackBerry, man. BlackBerry was the best. I had
Hope no one gets.
um the first BlackBerry I had was the with the flat screen, and it was garbage. Oof, that thing broke so many times.
Well, you know what's good about these things? Okay, I also had a clear but purple but clear phone for my room. You know what's cool about them? They didn't read our fucking minds and try to take over our lives, yo.
No, they didn't, but they just had someone on the other listening in while you guys are talking.
I don't care. In fact, I liked hearing their stuff. I was like, oh, listen,
I can be honest, I do miss the old school phones with the cord and everything. I remember talking to one of my girlfriends when I was young, just sitting on the phone, having a conversation with her. It was about stupid stuff all day, and that was fun. Now it's like, hey, let's FaceTime, and I'm like,
see, okay, so here's the thing. I remember the days with my little cordless purple see-through phone. You could see all the wires. And my boyfriends would be like, I think someone could hear us. But I only had the line to my room, and he'd be like, they'd always be like on steroids. And he'd be like, I think someone, because you know how you get the cross conversation from like
yeah.
another, right? And I'm thinking, who gives a like we're not talking about government secrets here. Like we're literally like there's nothing in this that's incriminating. Like, why are we acting like we're so special that someone
Well,
who cares if someone hears this?
well, I'm assuming because I know your history with your boyfriend that he was probably a criminal, and he was probably like, listen, just steal your aunt's hubcaps. I need more juice.
Which just so you guys know, I would never steal in my life. But yes, they were records.
I don't know what the hell was wrong with you. So anyway,
I,
um, yeah, phones are definitely listening to us. They're probably listening to our brains.
I do miss the parties when we were young, though.
Eh,
The whole,
I kind of do
whole
because
world.
now it's like I can go out for like 2 or 3 hours, and then I'll be like, I
I
want
miss
to go home.
get-togethers, at people's houses. That was fun. I'm talking like real get-togethers, like no, like you know,
Yeah,
no,
I know.
no parties. Oh God, we're running out of time.
Yeah. All right. So, phones, brains, yes, probably.
Yeah,
Our
God,
phone, definitely. And I'm assuming the next generation is probably gonna be like, just hook it up to your ear. Just hook it up to your ear. It's fine.
well, time travelers have said that. Remember, okay, so guys, we reviewed the documentary of a time traveler. Is that what it's called?
I think so.
Well,
I
there's a
think so.
video on it. Yeah, there was an actual documentary on a time traveler that he interviewed, and he made headlines because he stole quote unquote a banana or something from the store because from where he's from, that is free.
Yeah.
from his time zone where you have a chip in your hand and you could pay everything on the chip. Um, and he said a lot of other things. You got to check out the video.
It
But
kind of contradicted itself now that I'm thinking about it.
no, but how? Because I got to get to a point.
Because he said everything was free, and then he said that the chip
Oh,
pays
he
for it.
didn't say everything. He said you're allowed up to 3 free things at the store if it's in certain categories.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, yeah. So then, guys, he kept doing interviews in this one park. He felt at peace at this park, and he tells you a lot that happens. And he didn't even have hair when he first came. It was crazy. There was no records of him. Anyway, they did an X-ray of his hand and found out there is a chip in his hand. There was no wound that made it go in. There's a real chip in his hand, and he declined a third interview. He was real freaked out, real sketched out. He said they were after him, and not short after that, they found a body in the park, completely burnt to a crisp, I believe, except it was missing a hand, the hand with the chip, actually. And the landlord that he was renting from says they never saw him since. So anyway, a lot of things he says about the future, which could be our timeline future, maybe another, has to do with chips anew, has to do with the new world order, has to do with how different life is in the future. Now, can we change that? You know, according to Max Laughlin, we're since 2012 going through all sorts of realities, infinite realities, since CERN and the what is that? The Higgs, is it Higgs? What was that collider? The Hadron Collider. That prior to a certain time, we were all in one timeline, and then it got all weird. Now we're going through different ones, hence the Mandela effect. He believes that's what created the Mandela effect. Max Laughlin is a child genius. Don't even get discouraged by the word child because he was smarter than oh my God, so smart. Well, the other child genius we covered was Boris. You guys got to check out all these videos. We would have Max Laughlin, we have Boris, and we have the documentary of this time travel. Boris has a lot to say. Anyway, these child geniuses we have not heard from since. We cannot track down since. Boris was from Russia, so don't know. So yeah. So yeah, guys, you got to check out all our playlists because it is crazy. Anything more you want to add to this, Tommy?
Just be careful, people. Just getting out of hand. Technology's starting to really freaking ramp up. So be careful.
It's true. It is true. And guys, check out our video on that. A lot covered there. All right, guys, we love you so much. You mean the absolute world to us, each and every one of you. Thank you if you're still watching and listening. Thanks for hanging with us. We love having you as a part of our family. If you haven't already, please like to support our content. You know, because we talk about truthful topics here, not just because they're truthful, but because of the nature of the content that we're trying to spread as a result of trying to just put it out there for people to decide if they want to believe it or not. You know, we have a small channel still. So every like means the world to us. Every subscriber means the world to us. We would love you to be a part of our family, if you haven't been already. And every share means the absolute world to us. We're going to do our next episode on whistleblowers. It's going to be amazing. And hopefully we survive to do a next video. So put on those notifications so that next video comes out. Also, find us on Instagram, Soul Spy University. And if anyone needs an energy, I'm an energy coach, intuitive life coach. But I'm an energy coach. So if anybody needs a coaching session, I have raving reviews from clients. I'm available for that. And if anyone needs help psychologically letting go of clutter, I also am a specialist at that as well. So yeah, my information is also in the description box. And we have a donation link in the description box. Because, you know, like I said, we're not just talking about everyday things on this channel. We're not talking about advertising a product. We're not pushing what might be the agenda out there. We're trying to have all the knowledge displayed so people can think for themselves and expand consciousness, and awaken if they want, whatever the case may be, so that you don't have to just be robots, but we get more in tune with ourselves here. So because of that, we're still a very small channel because the algorithm, I don't think, is a fan of disclosure or awakening or whatever the keywords are that we probably shouldn't say. So donations are greatly, greatly appreciated because we do put a lot of work into these videos. And after years, it's like, oh man, if we just picked another topic. However, I know my soul wants to do what it's called here to do. And I guess Tommy's is coming for a ride as well. So we do it for you guys. So we love you. See you next time. Hopefully, watch out for us. Make sure we're still alive and surviving. Thanks. Bye.
Bye, guys.